Today we are going to discussing about the introduction, SAP introduction. Okay, and next one is SAP history. So basically, what is the history of SAP? SAP has started in 1972 by five former IBM employees. So to provide proper business solutions to the entire world. So SAP stands for System Applications and Products in Data Processing. So, so SAP has introduced several releases from 1972. Several releases such as SAP R1, SAP R2, SAP R3. Here R means real time. So R1 means real time one tier architecture. R2 real time two tier architecture. R3 means real time three tier architecture. What is one tier, two tier, three tier? We'll see in the next slides. So there are some versions from 1972 onwards. I have given here list of versions and list of packages which is given by introduced by SAP to update and upgrade the versions. So in 1973 it started and released R1. R means real time one tier architecture. And end of the 70s R2 and 1992 SAP introduced R3, which is real time three tier architecture, which we are using present. And after that 98 to 2009, 98 to 2005, SAP has introduced some versions and some support packages to upgrade the SAP R3. So maximum latest one is so other than S4HANA, before S4HANA, that is Suite 7. Next, what is SAP? SAP stands for System Applications and Products in Data Processing. It is one of the ERP tool. So ERP is nothing but enterprise resource planning. It is started by 5 IBM employees late 1970s. So the reason behind this to introduce SAP R3 is, so they are decided to give one proper business application systems to the organizations in the world. So SAP R3 system is a business software package designed to integrate all areas of business. What are all the areas of the business? Basically, business is any business, any organization, whether it is small, medium, large scale, is having some departments. In that main departments, let's say financials, manufacturing, logistics, distributions, HR, some other departments. So these are all departments and functionalities, processes are available in the single system, that is SAP. All business processes are executed in one system, one SAP system, and sharing common information with all areas. So one more, if financial requires manufacturing, so manufacturing will share their details to finance. Finance requires, if manufacturing team requires some logistic information, so logistic department will share with the manufacturing team. Procurement team, if required some information from manufacturing, so manufacturing department will share that information to procurement. So this is daily activities which we are going to perform in daily activities in organizations. So those are all available in the single system. We are moving to the next slide. So the next one is R1, R2, R3. What is R1? R1 means real time one tier architecture. So basically SAP works based on three layers, that is a presentation layer, application layer, database layer. So Those are all available in the single system, that is R1, real time one tier architecture. Now next one is R2, server 1. Presentation is different, so presentation layer is installed in server 1, and remaining application and database layers are available in the server 2. So basically that is 2 real time 2 tier architecture. Next, SAP 1992, SAP introduced SAP R3, that is, so 3 tier architecture. Each one layer is having its own server. So server 1 for presentation, server 2 for application, server 3 for database. So what is presentation, what is application, what is database, we'll see. Application layer, so basically based on the modules departments, application layer will be going to save all the applications which is running by the business, and all the application related data is going to store at database layer. And next one is presentation layer, which is useful by the, which is using by the business. Moving to the next slide, what is, who uses SAP? So 70% of all 100 Fortune and companies using SAP. 55% of 500 Fortune companies already using SAP. Released business one and buy this for small scale industries. For some of the modules in SAP, let's say based on the department wise, finance department FICO, sales department SD, and procurement department MM, production department PP, quality department QM, warehouse department WM, logistics department LE. So basically these are all some of the modules which are there in the single system, that is SAP. So our point of view, we are going to discussing about MM. So how MM and how are we going to procure the materials. So how our procurement time is going to integrate with other modules. Those are all we can see in the next slides. Next in future. Next one is and also SAP has introduced some industry specific solutions. So SAP IS industry specific AFS, apparel and footwear solutions. There are some industry specific related solutions also introduced by SAP. So for oil industry, SAP IS oil and gases. For utilities industry, SAP IS utilities. For retail industry, IS retails. For automation, SAP IS industry solution. Auto and media, for that is media. So if we move to the next slide, we have MM and integration with other modules. So basically if we consider this R3, so R3 is a SAP system which is having different departments with different modules. So our MM module, how our MM module is going to integrate with FI, CO, SD, manufacturing, procurement, PP and remaining finance HR. So we'll see that as well in the next. Next one is MM implementation project. What is implementation project we have till now? So basically, what is there in the present organization? Which software are they going to use to run their business process? How are they mapping their business? How are they using or processing their business in these systems now? That is nothing but as is discussion. So this one basically before going to implement SAP, so before going to use SAP system, we are going to discussing about their business process, that is as is. So based on this as is discussion, we are going to preparing 2B document. So based on as is and 2B document, we are going to preparing blueprint document, blueprint preparation. So after the completion of this blueprint, we are going to take the sign up from the business. So basically blueprint is having what are all the BPMLs we have module wise. That list we are going to having in the blueprint. So each BPML wise, what are all the requirements we have. So what is that requirement means? BPML, business process requirement list. So what is the requirement here? So let's say if you want to create the PO freight 10% is mandatory and to get the material from vendor. So let's say that freight 10% is mandatory and requirement. So while creating that particular purchase order, that freight 10% should be trigger automatically. That is the requirement. So each BPML is having this type of requirement. So we will consider those are all, and we are keeping name is BPRL, Business Process Requirement List, based on each BPML. So that is the way. Next, each module is having different master data like LSW master data, like say for example material master, vendor master. To upload those, we have different tools like LSW, functional side in ECC, and S4HANA side LTMC and LTMOD. So based on each BPML, we are going to preparing test scripts. Whether whatever we have mapped processes in the system, we need to test that before giving and hand over to the business team. We need to test that whether those are working properly or not. So that's a part of test scripts. And after once it is testing done, then we need to prepare the user manuals, that is the referral documents. So we are going to hand over those user manuals to the business team to refer their business while doing their business in their SAP system. Next, how to do, and we are going to providing training as well. So reports, so to run the process, so if required, reports, interfaces, conversions, enhancements, forms, that will comes under RISEF. So RISEF for R means reports, I means interfaces, C means conversions, E means enhancements, F means forms. So it is basically process wise. So whichever is required, we are going to capture those under the RISEF. Supporting project, basically it is application support. So actually business is running their business in their SAP system. If they stuck somewhere, so we are going to support, and we try to avoid those struck and issues by giving our support to the business team. So that activities comes under supporting. So these are all the main we have. Next, S4HANA introduced by SAP recent days. So what is the differences we have in ECC and S4HANA? So ECC point of view, what are all the topics we have, and how those are affected by introducing S4HANA. So basically ECC we have vendor master, customer master. So that is replaced with business partner in S4HANA. Release procedure. So basically release procedure in ECC, in S4HANA it is flexible workflow. So both were the available as per the business need. Sorry, whichever they want, we are going to use that. Next one is output management in ECC, that is actually BRA plus, business rule framework plus. Vendor customer rebates, that is settlement management in S4HANA. Service procurement in ECC, that will become a lean service procurement. So both options are available. So as per the business need, whichever they want, we are going to use that in S4HANA. Let's some of the table levels, so mapped with new tables, KYNB, KYNP, KYNH, pricing related tables replaced with PRC underscore elements. MSync or MKPF, material document related tables replaced with MADDOC, and BKPF, BSync, accounting document related tables replaced with ACDOC. So these are some of the change topics in S4HANA. Next, what we are going to discussing. So we are going to discussing these are all the topics as part of training. So basically enterprise structure, business partner S4HANA and ECC, material master S4HANA ECC, info records, source list. So whatever area is affecting on by S4HANA, so we are going to discussing that along with the ECC. Next, quotation, price comparison. So these are all the available release procedure. It's replaced with flexible workflow. So both the options we are going to discussing. Next, material ledger S4HANA, pricing, purchase requisition, purchase order, goods receipt. So Indian GST, Indian taxation. So if we have vendor settlements, customer settlements, so that will comes under settlement management in S4HANA. goods issue to cost center, goods issue to production order, flexible workflow, VRF plus. These are all some of the BPML list we are going to discussing. So next is, thank you very much. 45 days. 45 days training. 45 days training. Fees 25,000. This it is negotiate. Is negotiable, not fixed. Changeable. Thank you. Please contact 9104 184 866. Mail to anavenkat@gmail.com. So please contact mail ID mail to anavenkat@gmail.com. Thank you. Share and subscribe.